Hello, everybody. This is the Lord Master Stuart Allen Swerdlow.
And this is Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow.
And this is the Expansions News Podcast Addendum for August 2018.
Okay, so I want to start out with telling you.
When you time travel, you forget what year it is. Sometimes.
That's true. Sometimes you do. But I wanted to tell you, remember about last year when the NFL players were taking the knee, which to me was...
I get the knee all the time from you.
It is the opposite, because when you kneel, that really is showing respect and pledging allegiance.
Yes, that's correct.
But for some reason, they're doing the opposite and turning that around.
That's because people out there are so stupid and they reverse everything of meaning.
Well, anyway, everything is being reversed, that's for sure. Maybe this is part of reverse programming, I don't know. But anyway, as you know, the NFL season officially has started again, and because of that, we have more protests of the national anthem. So, apparently, I just want to remind people, it began 2 years ago, when then San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick knelt to protest social inequality and police brutality. Then Trump claims now this year that players are showing outrage and they don't really know why that they are kneeling. However,
nobody knows why, really.
Not really. The NFL players agreed to a temporary halt on the enforcement of the anthem protest rules. And as of last protesting, now there have to be, because they were told they were going to be suspended for up to 4 games for violating the policy. So now they've suspended that level of rules while they work together to get new rules. But as I've told you before, monkey see, monkey do. So this is kind of imprinting the young people to do the same thing. So with this in mind, listen to this next story. To me, this is about implementing the New World Order and taking away nationalism. There is an Atlanta charter school that's dropping the Pledge of Allegiance and instead is asking the students to recite, get this one, the Wolfpack Chant.
What is that?
Because they want to make the institution more inclusive.
What is a Wolfpack Chant?
They don't even know yet. They've just named it, and they're assuming...
They named something
yes.
They're going to do and they don't know what it is?
Yes. Because they say that what they want the students to do is to create this. So they'll be given the opportunity to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
What could go wrong with that?
Well, this is what makes me say this is a lead-in to the New World Order. Because first of all, it's going to most likely that it was named after the wolf mascot, but they don't say that. But it will focus students on civic responsibility to their school family, not to their biological family, to their school family. Community, country, and then get this, our global society. So they want to take away nationalism and put in the global society. They want to take away the nuclear family and they want the school family.
And this is Atlanta. That was the capital of the Confederacy.
Yeah. Now, also in South Central Pennsylvania, Bedford Area School District last April said it will not require students to stand for the pledge because of their First Amendment rights. So again, they're putting things in. I call this monkey see, monkey do, because the superintendent of that school district said the topic of standing or not standing has been getting a lot of national attention because the news media is giving it national attention, most commonly because of protests at the National Football League games. So
everybody needs to just calm down.
Well, it's about New World Order, in my opinion.
If you don't want to support the flag, then go live in another country.
Now, another person who is a programming icon and has been in the news a lot, of course, is Kanye West.
Yeah, there's a brainiac for you.
Yeah, now Kanye West had a very interesting interview not too long ago where he said, quote, "When you hear about slavery for 400 years, this sounds like a choice. You were there for 400 years and it's all of y'all."
That's plural, by the way. It's plural of y'all.
It's all of y'all.
All y'all.
It's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. Slavery is to blacks as the Holocaust is to Jews. Prison is something that unites as one race, blacks and whites, that we're the human race. Unquote.
What the heck does that mean?
So then he tries to explain his statement, and he says he worded it wrong. He said, I said the idea of sitting in something for 400 years sounds like a choice. I never said it is a choice. I never said slavery itself, like being shackled in chains, was a choice.
How about you just stop talking?
That's why I went from slave to 400 years to mental prison to this and that.
Yeah, I think he's in a mental prison.
If you look at the clip, you see that's the way my mind works. Now,
Yeah, no, this is where your mind does not work.
so the reason I'm bringing this up, remember I called him a programming icon. So he just last week had an interview with Jimmy Kimmel. And guess what he discussed?
Yeah, he's another brainiac.
Donald Trump, Galileo, and then guess what? Porn, masturbation, mental health, fashion, love, empathy in his new
That
album.
all goes together, doesn't it?
Now, here, Jimmy Kimmel brings this up. He says, quote, "You so famously and so powerfully said George Bush does not care about black people," referring to comments that Kanye West made at a 2005 benefit for Hurricane Katrina. It makes me wonder what you think that Donald Trump does, or any people at all, question mark. So Kimmel sat there without saying anything. He's probably afraid to say anything because of what happened to him the last time. So finally Kimmel said, well, we'll go to a commercial break and you can answer it later, and then that never came up. However, this article did go back and refer to a comment that West had made sometime earlier where he said he didn't agree 100% with Trump, and he said, but the mob cannot make me love him. But the mob cannot make me love him. Then he said that he and the president were dragon energy and brothers.
Who said that?
Kanye West. He said that Trump and he were dragon energy and brothers. Okay,
They look alike, don't they?
so then we go back to Jimmy Kimmel's interview when he asked, Kimmel asked West about his wife, Kim Kardashian, who visited the White House earlier in the year. And Kimmel said, were you ever concerned about her being alone in the Oval Office with President Trump?
Ridiculous.
So then West said, well, he is a player. Okay. Then in part 2 of the interview, then they went on, Kimmel says, and you actually are imagining guys objectifying. Do you think like your attitude towards women has changed since having daughters? So remember, pornography is also part of New World religion. So what does he say? Nah, I still look at Pornhub.
What does that mean?
Well, they go on. What kind of... Because they have to bring certain topics in and words and buzzwords so that people begin to think it's normal.
This is the person who named his kid North.
Yeah.
Northwest.
Well, that's not a name. That's a...
I mean, seriously, why is he being asked about anything of any importance?
Well, it's not important. They're just trying to get this out for people because, like I said, monkey see, monkey do. So if he's looking at Pornhub, everybody's going to go out there and see what it is. So Kimmel said, what kind of stuff do you look at? What categories? And Wes says, black is my favorite category. And then he goes on to say, what's the point of being Kanye West if you can't go into it? Let's break down the porn categories. A lot of black on white, obviously. And then Kimmel said, it's mirroring your own self, your own situation, alluding to his marriage with Kim Kardashian. It's like double masturbating. Remember, they want to bring that word up in a way if you think about it.
No.
So Kanye West wondered, how do you do that? I need that double. And Kimmel says, I'll show you after the show.
Oh my God. Why are these people even on television?
Exactly, because it's imprinting people with things, and this is the programming icon.
And another question is, why do people care what they say?
Well,
they're brainless, all of them.
Yes, monkey see, monkey do. And that's why well, first of all, I will tell you, on my blog this month, we are working on sexual deprogramming, and very fascinating discussions we're having on the blog. So if you're not a member of our site, you need to sign up. The True Reality of Sexuality, this is one of the bases for a lot of the things we're discussing, and 13 Cubed. So a lot of people are sharing a lot of very interesting thoughts and information and experiences which help everybody, because this is the most, this is a very strong force, and they're taking people by it and they're throwing them all over the place. So I really highly suggest, if you don't have that membership and you're not participating in my blogs, you are missing out on a lot of stuff.
And I highly Selassie.
Yeah, there you go. So with that said, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.